Now we review the Exorcism. What? Ex-whore? Like, used to be a prostitute? Oh, Exorcism. Is this... It's biting off The Exorcist then, is it? Alright, ladies and gentlemen. This is Random Street Theater. I am Richard Leland Neal, and I have seen The Exorcism. And this movie stars Russell Crowe, and we all know Russell Crowe is an incredible actor. I don't know if he has a huge range, but he is an incredible actor, and in The Exorcism he plays a washed-up actor. What happens is we start out with the multi-level, for some unexplainable reason, set of The Exorcism, and the original actor who is to play the priest who exorcises the demon shows up, has an episode of some kind, and winds up dead. Alright? Now, the set here is pretty weird because it is a multi-level set where you would have to have one of those crane cameras, and then it would be sitting outside the set and you could only view it from one angle. So the set doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's a house built inside of a multi-story building, and then because they've lost the actor, now they have to find Russell Crowe. And apparently Russell Crowe's character, what has happened is that his wife got cancer and he found solace in the bottle and left his wife to die. And his wife did indeed die. Now he's estranged from his daughter, although they do live together. She's having problems. And this is his kind of chance at redemption to get back into the seat. But he is being a crappy actor. And one of the big problems with this movie, of course, is you've got a really great actor, but in order to act truly crappy, takes a certain degree of talent. Anyway, before I get any further, let me remind you that for every 1,000 subscribers, you got to purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. Be so kind as to comment, like, and subscribe. You'll be doing your part for a better world. Now, The Exorcism, it starts out with a lot of scenes that kind of just wash by you without a strong establishment of character. You know, you really don't get a feel for who Russell Crowe is. You know that he was at one point a Catholic. He was even a choir boy. And he's tasked with playing this priest, but he just can't get into character. He can't deliver his lines. He can't give the director the push to make this work. And that is going to be a pretty big problem because, you know, this is a kind of movie that is based very much off the things you do, the performance, rather than the technique. And, I mean, The Exorcist had some very incredible technique, but it also had a lot of great performances in it. In fact, I told that the old man makeup on the priest from The Exorcist was so convincing he had trouble finding work afterwards because they think he would die on set because he was too old when the actor was not that old. I don't know if that actor is still alive. I have not seen The Exorcist. But, so the first half of this movie, I mean, there is the dynamic with the daughter and the fact that this guy is just breaking down and falling apart and he can't get with it. And for much of this, other than the fact that you know the first guy died on set, there isn't a lot of like, okay, he's possessed. It's okay, he's just having issues. And then, but you already know what this movie is about, so you know he's really possessed. And that is not being delivered. You don't feel the film is the problem. You don't feel this particular performance. And in the last half of the movie, it really picks up, and it's a lot better. And it's basically what happens is that instead of Russell Crowe having to be the actor, he has to really take on the role in order to survive the film. And, you know, it's that reversal there. But if you look at the very makeup of this, it looks like the priest, the actual priest they brought in as an advisor, he looks like he's demonic. And he says at one point he's not a true believer. So, I'm struggling to find something to say that is worth saying about this film. Russell Crowe as an actor has really hit a low point. And, that's very bizarre to see because I've never seen a bad Russell Crowe movie before. And another thing about this, there are a lot of scenes where he is nude but you don't see anything. And he is a really hairy dude. So, there's that. He could probably play a portly Sasquatch. That's very interesting. But, I think one of my problems with this film was that the lines just aren't delivered properly and the camera angles don't bring you into the moment well enough for you to really feel the impact. There's this one particular scene where Russell Crowe is possessed and he makes this comment about his daughter being a lesbian and, him eating her out because, he's possessed by a demon. It's what demons do. And, this should be an incredibly impactful scene, but I was sitting thinking, is that really what he said? I'm not dead sure because I couldn't hear it. And other thing about this movie is that every scene is dark. And I have to admit that a lot of these scenes are very well done. Russell Crowe's apartment is a beautiful standout. It's this very large apartment, and it's got this huge sort of bay window thing. Looks like it might have been built into a church or something. It's just wonderful architecture showcased there, but it is a gothic scene. And yes, this is a beautiful scene. But I don't get any feeling that there's a character or reason to his apartment being that awesome. And I know it's a big apartment. It's not a house. It can't be a house because houses aren't built that way. But, it's like he's living in this apartment that was converted out of either some sort of gothic space or an industrial space. And that window would imply that it was there for looks. So it looks like it's built in a cathedral. I don't know much about the architecture of the location, but that's what I get out of it. It's this big window with this peak. It's a beautifully shot, but the shots don't focus on the people. You don't get this air of darkness and doom. You just get an air of it wasn't shot well. And that's one of those things. If you're going to, for example, rent this movie or watch this movie on Blu-ray, make sure you do it in a dark room. Okay, because you can't see crap otherwise. Because it's such a dark movie, you're not seeing much. And the dialogue being under-focused on, it doesn't have the impact, it doesn't land, and the movie just sort of washes past you. I watched this film and thought, I don't know if I can review this without watching it a second time, because the whole thing just swooshed right by me, and I don't feel I could hold on to anything, or I don't feel that I could really feel the impact. And I'm not alone in this. Fandango is just murdering this film with a 35%, and the audience reviews on Rotten Tomatoes are also 35% approval, with the critics hating this thing at 27%, and IMDb giving it a 4.3, which is the highest score of the lot. But, IMDb is normally the standard I go by when I actually think of the quality of a film. But this one I'm going with Rotten Tomatoes. Well, no, I'm going with IMDb. It's not actively bad. It's just forgettable. So this one, it's not the bottom of your watch list. It is the lower half of your watch list. This is not a film that you should be looking for. If there is something else in theaters that looks more interesting, you should probably see that. As horror films go, it's not very horrific. There aren't a lot of kills. And there's just not enough in this movie that is going to bring you to the theater or make you feel any form of fear. Now look, I'm not afraid of anything because I know my sister. And my greatest fear should really be her coming into my house after her eating Taco Bell, because that smell would kill anything. But this film it actually reminded me of the Slender Man movie in terms of its film style. And that should tell you all you need to know. So, yes, lower half of the watch list, forgettable film. It's just kind of there. It will fulfill the fact that it is a horror movie, and when you're really drunk out of your mind on Halloween, maybe you should watch this film. Other than that, I'd give it a pass. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear yours. Down in the comments below. I'm Richard.
Randall the Rat here, reminding you to comment, like, and subscribe. And why should you do that? Well, look over here. These are bracelets from 4Ocean. Each one of them means a pound of trash was pulled out of the ocean. And this channel buys one for every 1,000 subscribers it gets. And this around my neck, well, this is a medal from the Conqueror. It represents walking around the Great Pyramids of Giza. You can get one for yourself by going to the Conqueror challenges.com and saying, hey, I want to pretend I walked around the pyramids of Giza without dealing with all the sweat and flies and delicious scarab beetles. Or you could support this channel so they can buy more of these, which means that they will plant trees, because each one of these represents 5 trees that got planted. Yeah, that's right, 5 trees, helping your environment. Global warming sucks. Be a good person, comment, like, and subscribe. Give us more money so that we can plant trees by buying medals from the Conqueror. Randall out.